big fan.
Thank
I'm
you.
here with Miles Brown,
Thank you.
who's going to take on our special All-Star Weekend Challenge. I know you want your My Player, right?
I would have my My Player. Y'all don't know about my My Player. But
What's your My Player build?
I got two. I got a Playmaking Shot Creator 93 overall, I think, and I got a Pure Sharp 92 overall.
Okay. So what's your strategy? What are you thinking here?
I gotta be big because he's just gonna post me if I'm small. He's gonna be super fast. The only way I'm thinking I'm gonna be able to score is if I post him up and use some type of post scoring. I gotta either pick Kareem, Hakeem Olajuwon, and then I think I'm gonna pick Hakeem Olajuwon. Okay.
Okay.
This is a one in a lifetime opportunity for me. I gotta take advantage of this. Okay?
All right. I like it.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome to 2K Sports, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, sitting alongside the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal, and the prop plane, Kenny Smith. And Oklahoma City is where we'll be going just moments from now, as the Thunder will be going up against the Houston Rockets. Taking a look at the Rockets, they're still right there in the thick of the race for the conference's top playoff seeds at just 4 games out of first place. With certain players, it's like having a coach on the floor. We're talking Chris Paul. Shaq, what's it like playing with a point guard that smart?
Well, Paul knows exactly what needs to happen in every situation. He remembers patterns and tendencies of players and of opposing teams. Very smart point guard.
Yeah, you can't let your team lose focus, and he does a good job of that. The team plays with a purpose when he's on that floor.
Now let's send it down to Kevin Harlan as tip-off approaches.
Thanks for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. It's Wednesday, hump day, and we're ready to bring you all the action. This is Kevin Harlan along with Greg Anthony and Brett Berry. David Aldridge will be reporting from the sideline. Well, for the Oklahoma City Thunder, they won their last contest, that game against the Jazz in Utah.
Anytime you come off the bench, you know your role, and that night it was about scoring.
Well, good collective team unity, everyone pitching in, so trying to win for one another. That's a good thing.
And let's go straight over to David Aldridge for a report before the tip-off. Hey, Dave.
Well, guys, we know when you talk about dedication, Chris Paul is among the greatest. Now, he says, I have a scary passion for basketball. I study it, I watch it all day, every day. I'm not the most athletic guy, so I have to use my mind and my knowledge of the game. Kevin, he is a professor out on the floor.
Tremendously competitive with great attention to detail, David. Thanks. One last time out these days, both in the final 3 minutes of regulation, Brent, and overtime. Do you see any impact in close games so far with that?
Yeah, I think coaches now have to be very diligent and very selective about when it is they want to stop the game, Kevin. As you know, that timeout also allows you to advance the ball. And we saw last year with this being sort of the lab for it, many coaches who took timeouts that cost them chances on a free throw, where normally we would see the advancement of the ball, they had to go full court. So teams are still examining how they want to run the last 3 minutes, what they want to do with the timeouts, and it makes for a lot more drama if the game is closer, that's for sure.
I like having these coaches having to make big decisions like that, too.
I like it, too, because you like to see just how good the coaches are, and then how many players can carry out maybe something that has a counteraction or some kind of slip screen where they execute something that carries over from clipboard to hardwood.
And the Houston Rockets starting 5. The engine of this team, Paul and Harden in the backcourt. Gordon is out there with P.J. Tucker, and it's Capella in at the 5. Now here's Adams. Passes to Westbrook. Clock at 6. Nice shot from the wing.
A guy who keeps getting better year after year, making the All-NBA rookie team, first team in 2009. He hasn't looked back.
Here is Harden. And Adams sends it back. And so it looks like the Rockets will retain possession here. To the middle. Capella kicks it to Tucker. Drills the three-pointer. Tucker's got himself on the board with 3 there.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from 3. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
Here's Ferguson. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. George against Gordon. Clock at 6. Here's Ferguson. That falls. Nice speed that time from George.
And that's from beyond, guys. Right back at you.
Yeah, that's a nice response there, leaving a voicemail in return from the three-point line. Looks like we're seeing similar game plans right now.
Now, here's Tucker. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Harden against Adams. Here's Paul. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Westbrook scanning the floor. He kicks it to George. Takes a three, but they'll get another chance. Here's Grant. The three-pointer, no good. Rockets have gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. Tipped away, and it's out of bounds. They say last touch by Adams. We get a break in the action, so let's take a look at the West and how the teams are stacking up. Taking a look at Houston. Right now, they're locked into 3rd place in the conference, looking to get a high seed for the playoffs. And checking out Oklahoma City. They're 4th in the conference.
And seeing where the Rockets are, a lot to live up to this season. And really, they have come through. It can be hard on a team when the expectations are that high, trust me. But it has not bothered them one bit.
Well, as high as those expectations were, they've only gotten higher as the season has gone along. They look poised to make a serious run at the trophy come playoff time.
Now, here's Westbrook. A 23-point game for him in the win against the Utah Jazz.
And he also controlled the boards. He just seemed to be in the right position every time the ball came off the rim.
Well, at the start of the summer, many expected a busy market for Capella in free agency. Eventually, though, signing a 4-year deal to remain with the Rockets. I feel like it's a great deal for Houston as Capella gives them the perfect inside presence to complement Harden and Paul.
Now, here's Westbrook. Steven Adams unable to get his last shot to go. Unable to get that one. Harden scanning the floor. To stop the drought. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. They won their last game against the Rockets in Houston.
And the last time they faced this club, rebounding was their big advantage.
Grant kicks to Westbrook. Adams outside. And here's George for 3. And that'll be Oklahoma City as it goes out of bounds. Thunder retain possession. On the clock. And Capella sends it back. Gordon with it. He really played well in that last game against Charlotte. Now, here's Tucker. Gordon finds Tucker. Up top, Capella. From deep, Harden. Another miss by Houston. And it's Westbrook with the ball. He brings it up for Oklahoma City. From down in the low post, it goes. Westbrook's got his second bucket of the night.
Russell loves the challenge there, and he's in the heart of the defense, and he rips it out of him there.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
And Houston calls their first time out of the game.
Well, you think back to a time when people wondered if Westbrook was too aggressive playing with KD. They said Russ was taking too many shots. No questions anymore. Westbrook is the man in OKC.
A different look for Oklahoma City. Nerlens Noel checks in for Steven Adams. Patterson comes in for Jeremy Grant. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Terrence Ferguson. Houston with a big group substitution here. Kenneth Faried's checked in for Capella. Breen comes in for Gordon. Shumpert is checked in for James Harden. And it's Rivers in for Paul. Now, here's Green. Following the miss by Russell Westbrook. Paul George with the steal. 2-on-1 as they jump out on the break. Up the floor. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Now, we know how explosive Westbrook can be. He just forces defenses to foul him.
And for Westbrook, winning the MVP and averaging a triple-double for an entire season, Greg, how much does he have left to prove?
Well, it's all about winning. We know Russ can take over a game. We know he can make his teammates better. How much better and how far they get in the playoffs, that's the real question.
And the first one drops.
And Westbrook really did take his time, but in the end signed that $205 million contract for 5 years to stay in OKC, to make it his home. That's the largest contract in NBA history at the time it was signed, and I'd have to say money well spent for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
And Russell Westbrook drops a bolt. Yeah, a lot of nail biting in Oklahoma after the departure of Kevin Durant. Brent, what did keeping Westbrook on that team, in that organization, mean for the Thunder?
Well, it means that they still want to win some basketball games, Kevin, and Russell Westbrook approaches every game with such incredible competitive drive. We saw in his triple-double season that he just carries an unbelievable workload with the highest usage rate in NBA history that year. It's amazing the kind of effort he plays with, and the goal is to get back to the finals.
One shot.
He throw good, Amon Shumpert. Brent, I'm sure there were times, and you've won 2 championships, where you thought you were going to win a title, and it didn't happen.
I'll go back to the first night that I thought potentially we were going to win a title with San Antonio, and that was in the 2005 finals against Detroit. We had come back home for a Game 6 that I thought we were going to win, and we did not. And sort of the pressure that mounted after that game to know that we were going to a Game 7 and lost an opportunity where we really did feel, coming off of Game 5, we were going to win. It certainly elevated the intensity of the Game 7, which we eventually won at home for our title in 2005.
Outside Westbrook. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. And Shumpert kicks to Rivers. And that won't go, missing the go-ahead bucket. The Thunder with the lead. Inside. And Westbrook gets it to go on the assist by Schroeder. And that's now 10 points for Russell Westbrook.
It's pretty simple. I figured it out. He can't miss. Adding to the lead with ease and capitalizing on every opportunity. He can't miss.
Now here's Rivers. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Here's Shumpert. Lets the 3 fly. Tucker can't get it to go. The Thunder leading by 4. Inside. And it's Patterson finishing it off.
I like to see this from Westbrook. When he focuses on hitting his guys, it can make the entire team better.
Westbrook against Shumpert. A 3 ball. That one dropped for his second bucket. Mark him 2 for 4.
The defense looked lost there. Get out your compass. No excuses. You got to guard the perimeter.
Schroeder against Rivers. The pass to Burton. Here's Patterson. Tried to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Rockets trail by 3. Green deciding where to go with it. Pass to Rivers. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. Rivers has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. And it's Schroeder with the ball. He brings it up for Oklahoma City. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Houston's gone 4 of 7 from 3-point range so far in the first. Green dishes to Rivers. Pass to Tucker. Fareed at the elbow. With 1 on the clock. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. Russell Westbrook has been leading the charge for the Oklahoma City Thunder. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. We'll get right back to the action when we return. Paul George had that nasty broken leg back in 2014. He describes what inspired him to come back even stronger.
My inspiration really came from my mother. You know, her dealing with stroke, her dealing with really being down and out. You know, I saw her fight back. That was enough for me. In my darkest days, I knew it was nothing to what my mom went through, and she came out perfectly fine, so.
Well, what a story. George worked hard to get back and is not disappointed in his return.
You know, recovering from a devastating injury is never easy, but George's perspective and commitment helped him to overcome it.
Some good action already in this one, but a fairly even matchup after the first quarter of play. What stands out to you from Oklahoma City in this one?
They're just not sitting back. They are going for steals, and their activity has been terrific.
Yeah, so that disruption is helping out because it's leading to some easy chances on the other end.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. So for Oklahoma City right now, we've got Russell Westbrook. Noel is out there with Morris. Then there's Dennis Schroeder, and it's Burton in at the small forward position. And here is Shepard following Markieff Morris's three. Rivers passes to Fareed, poke loose. Clock at 4. Rivers finds Shumpert. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Oklahoma City shooting from the field, 44%, not bad.
And you look back at that 2012 finals, the Thunder lost in 5 games to the Heat. And you looked at that young talent, Durant, Westbrook, Harden, now all MVP award winners, along with Serge Ibaka, a young, talented, energetic Serge Ibaka. And it felt like that was a team that was going to rule the West for a very long time.
Timeout called, the Rockets. And the Thunder trading away Harden in the summer of 2012, but Brent unable to agree on a contract extension.
Well, OKC agreed on the contract. James Harden did not, and that's sort of the line in the sand that was drawn. And the salary cap jumping up in subsequent seasons, they just had bad timing in terms of the frugality of what they offered up to James Harden. It's a decision that we talk about a lot. It's revisionist history, but at the time it was the move that OKC made, and I can't really argue with it.
Now here's Grant. Harden missing his last shot. A three from Morris. The Rockets pull it in. Cabela's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Schroeder against Paul. The Rockets with another miss. The Thunder leading by 3. Schroeder, right side. Passes it to Ferguson. Now Grant. He picked up 12 points in their last win against Utah. And good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down.
That's a lot of hard work in the offseason for Jeremy Grant to become better at the mid-range, finding some footing there.
Harden lets up.
And James Harden, last season's MVP, the runner-up in 2015, actually won the players' vote for MVP that season, but last season he took home the official hardware.
Houston shooting their 2nd and 3rd free throws tonight.
Shooting 2.
First one falls for him.
And Harden finished 2nd in MVP voting in 2017, won the MVP in 2018. A multi-talented combo guard who just seems to get better every season.
And the Thunder making a switch here. George is checked in. And so he hits both.
He talks so much about rhythm from the field. How about a rhythm from the free throw line? That looks good.
Knocked loose. Paul with the steal. Plays it in off the breakaway.
Yeah, I don't know when Chris Paul sleeps. It's never during the game. Always active and keeping his arms moving, which is how he's able to swipe that one away.
And with James Harden winning the MVP in 2018, Russell Westbrook in 2017, Kevin Durant in 2014, you think a few what-ifs right now in Oklahoma City?
A few, more than that, Kevin. I mean, probably tough for them all to win MVP playing on one team. A good shot at a different trophy, though, maybe. The one that starts with the name of Larry.
Here's Capella. Paul George making his last shot. Gordon for three. It's hauled in by Adams. The Thunder leading by 3. George looking around. Free throw line jump shot, and it's good off the back of the rim and in. George has got his second basket of the night.
Yeah, and their shooting really starting to pick up here in the second.
Here's Harden, and the jam by Harden.
And I just love how aggressive Harden is inside. When he's deep like that, he is ready to finish with authority.
Here's Ferguson. Back to Schroeder. Knocked away. Paul with the steal. Drops in the breakaway layup. And now just a 1-point Thunder lead.
Now you're pretty confident that Chris Paul is going to make the right decision with the basketball.
Back to Schroeder. From outside the arc. Rebounded by Fareed. Fareed's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Ball outside. That doesn't go in. Had a chance, though, to take the lead. To the paint. Here's Ferguson. Six to shoot. Back to Schroeder. For the 3. Goes back up. And he lays it up and in.
Adams, such a physical presence out there on the glass. This is how he gets a lot of his points.
Harden outside. Floats one up, and it's good on the way in. Harden's got 6 points.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Here's Ferguson, guarded by Harden. And really deep through that time. 7 points in the game.
Well, after a tough first quarter, it didn't get to him in any way. He's really stepped up here in the second quarter.
Ball outside. Got a piece of it. Down low. And here's Schroeder. He picked up 24 points in the last one against the Utah Jazz.
A lot of those plays came off tremendous hustle. He was committed to ripping down as many rebounds as he possibly could in this one.
Timeout called the Rockets.
A lot of high hopes for Schroeder when he signed his 4-year deal back in 2016. His development hasn't continued at a high level, at least high enough for some people to take notice. So shooting from a distance, still an issue for the young point guard.
Houston with a big group substitution here. P.J. Tucker, he's checked in for Kenneth Fareed. Gerald Green comes in for Eric Gordon. Iman Shumpert is checked in for James Harden. And it's Austin Rivers in for Chris Paul. Now here's Shumpert. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game. Tucker. And he's good on the 3-ball. Well, with Schroeder, he just isn't consistent enough from 3-point range as point guards need to be today.
Well, last season was just a shade under the 30% range. He's still a great scorer by slashing and going to the rim, but that's going to tire you out. Teams back off and make you prove it. We'll see if Dennis can find some consistency from that range to be more dangerous.
To the paint. Tucker dishes to Rivers. Got it. Good job in the low post. Rivers has got 5 points so far.
That's what you get with a bigger guard, a guy that can carve out a little bit more space, and Rivers does a good job that time.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time, the whistle blowing. And there's the foul against Houston. For Oklahoma City, they have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2.
Not a strong suit for this crew, just around 71%.
That free throw missing.
Westbrook just plays with an incredible competitive fire, and that energy right now, he's not taking any possessions off.
Morris is checked in for the Thunder. That one is no good. Rockets have gone 7 of 13 from the field since the start of the second. Got a piece of it. It's Rivers on the wing. He's covered by Westbrook. Rivers kicks to Shumpert. Back to Rivers. Just 5 to shoot. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
He had a little bit of trickeration with that one. Gets that one to go against the lip.
Wait, did you just say trickeration, GA? I think it's a size disadvantage there that he was willing to attack, but you have to develop that skill set and have counters.
One shot, gentlemen.
On the free throw, no good. And Austin Rivers out of Duke, an elusive 6'4" combo guard.
I mean, a great handle, and he's found most of his offensive success with his development as a long-range shooter. It's gotten to the point now where you want him to put it on the deck.
Now, here's Green. He gives the team some steady offense, a bit under 10 points a game. Right side, Westbrook. The shot's good on the assist by Jordan. 14 points for Russell Westbrook.
Well, they've decided, and so has Russell, to ride his hot hand here tonight.
They get a hand on it. Westbrook with the steal. Got it up. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in. And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. It's the Thunder up 1. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, guys. Here with head coach Billy Donovan. Coach, it's been back and forth in the first half. What's it going to come down to?
Well, obviously it's close. We know we're playing against a great team, so we just got to keep grinding and keep playing.
We'll see how it turns out, Coach. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after this break.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey everybody, tremendous first half. Glad to have you back. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. There was no stopping Russell Westbrook in the first half. He had 14 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. Kenny, let's get your take on Oklahoma City.
Well, I think to shoot a high percentage, the offense has to be in sync. And in the first half, those guys were sharing the basketball, playing for each other. Now it becomes a matter of being consistent at it.
Shaq, how'd you think the Rockets were playing?
Well, they had a strong perimeter game. See, Ernie, when this team executes from long range, those weapons spread out of defense. Coming out of the second half, if those shooters are hot, they got a great chance to take control of this game.
That's all for now. Say goodbye to the folks. Thanks for joining us. Third quarter, just about ready to begin.
An aerial view of downtown as we return you to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, with the Great Plains stretching off in the distance. And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. Well, you look at Russell Westbrook in this game, he has been everywhere.
Yeah, on the cut, off the dribble, he is a factor, and we saw that in the first half.
Coaches talk about having slashers on the team, and this is what they do. They get into the heart of the defense. They force difficult rotations. He's been tough to contain.
Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game it's been so far. And on the floor for Mike D'Antoni starting the second half. Paul and Harden are the incredible backcourt duo. PJ Tucker is out there with Gordon, and it's Capella in at the pivot spot manning the middle. Count it, good.
And defensively, this is the opposite of how you want to start the second half.
Yeah, it's like 4 teenagers at home over the summer, just not enough activity. You've gotten your rest. It's time to man up.
One shot, find the lane.
One of my favorite moves is the Euro step. I know it's one of yours as well. There are a lot of guys that can do it well.
Well, I got to see Manu Ginobili step around me for years in San Antonio. But I think James Harden is still the most devastating Euro step player we have in the game. There's something about the lefties, isn't there, Kevin? We have a hard time figuring
They
a
throw
lefty
you off.
out.
They throw you off automatically just by the left hand.
Right.
Then they add the little side step.
And James Harden with the shiftiness and the way he moves the ball around and draws contact. I know there are a lot of people that get aggravated by that, but he's nearly impossible to stop, especially when he's got his passport with the Euro step.
He slithers. The first free throw is good.
You know, when Chris Paul came to the Rockets, a lot of people questioned if he and James Harden would be able to share the ball. Both known for being ball-dominant guards, I think you'd have to say it's worked out pretty well.
Both shots good from the stripe. And I think Chris Paul never comfortable with that ball-dominant label, Greg. He never played with another guard who could create, certainly on the level of Harden.
No doubt about it. I mean, Mo P, J.J. Redick, guys who were great shooters, but really more off-the-ball players. Chris needed to be that kind of a playmaker, but with Harden, he has someone just as gifted at creating baskets for himself and others.
Now here's Gordon. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Cloak loose. Goes to the reverse layup and drops it in.
They are just killing him on the interior.
Thunder trailing by 6. Westbrook kicks to Ferguson. There's the pass to Grant to stop the run. Rebounded by Capella.
They look frustrated, 0 for 3. Not how you want to start the third quarter.
And the foul called on Russell Westbrook. That's foul number 2 for him. Gordon, the pass to Capella. Gordon dishes to Paul. Harden outside to the middle. And Tucker has it in the corner.
Grant could be such a devastating defender down there with those long arms and athleticism to contest shots.
And Chris Paul picks up the foul. That's his first foul. Timeout is called. First of the game for the Thunder. And P.J. Tucker, Greg, a rugged physical defender at the forward.
And here's a guy, second-round pick back in 06. Spent 5 seasons playing abroad before making his return to the association. Now he's a seasoned veteran and not shy about holding his teammates accountable, especially defensively. Okay, a chance to check out stats for P.J. Tucker. How last month turned out for him. 9th in steals, and his sweet shooting stroke places him in the top 15 league-wide in three-point percentage. You've got to play him tight.
And talk about being top 10 in steals. I love his jumping the passing lanes and then stealing away your dribble.
And maybe the halftime cut into some of that rhythm they had in the first half. So far, 0 for 4 to start the second half.
Here's Harden, and again, the Rockets good for 2.
And I love seeing Harden get room to shoot from that mid-range position, an effective scorer in that area.
Westbrook finds George. Outside Westbrook. Pass to Grant. 6 on the shot clock. And again, no good by Oklahoma City.
It was an ugly start to the second half. They're still scoreless in their first 5 attempts.
Thunder trailing by 8. To the inside. Oh, and he plucks it off the glass. Wow. outside Gordon. Pass to Tucker. Paul against Westbrook. Paul kicks it to Tucker. And some nice passing there by Houston. George against Gordon. Harden has a wide open look. And again, the Rockets good for 2.
And he can smell blood in the water. Excellent finish.
Yeah, when your opponent's down and frustrated, this is when you can turn it up.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
Nerlens Noel checks in for Oklahoma City. Kenneth Faried, he's checked in for the Rockets. Ferguson kicks to George. Passes it to Ferguson. And here is Noel, guarded by Harden. Here's Ferguson. To end the cold streak, Adams. It's good on the putback.
And that is one of Steven Adams' specialties. If you fail to put a body on him, he'll put you in the rim.
Harden draws the double. Kicks it to Tucker. Left side, Gordon. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim. Thunder trailing by 8. And there's the pass to Westbrook. Comes up empty from 19 feet out. On offense, here are the Rockets. They're on an 11-2 run. Tucker, the pass to Harden. Cans the 12-footer. Harden's got the lead up to 10 now for Houston.
And it's another James Harden special we're witnessing here tonight. I think this fella's got some game.
Westbrook against Paul. Westbrook can't get it to go.
It is so tough to make those kind of shots with the defense draped all over you.
Harden outside. And Tucker has it in the corner. And it's off from three-point range. And here's George. He'll bring it up for Oklahoma City. Their next game, playing at home, as the Nets come into town. And that game is the second of 2 straight at home. Adams dishes to Westbrook. Westbrook missing again.
And he's getting good looks on the floor, but he simply cannot bury anything right now. He's got to stay confident, though, because everyone knows he can hit those shots.
Now here's Harden. And there's the feed to Faried. Unloads. Easy jumper from very short distance. Faried's got his second bucket of the night.
And really, Faried is just very comfortable from there. He waits for the right opportunity and then seizes the moment.
Ferguson kicks to George. Lead away, makes the bucket. Now he's got 5 field goals, 5 for 8 in the game.
And Paul George in the mid-range area, just dominating that possession.
Ball outside to the paint. Wants to get it to Faried and does. That shot misses. Thunder trailing by 10. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively, for sure.
On offense, here are the Rockets. They're on a 15-4 run right now. Westbrook against Harden. Faried trying to get open. Harden gets the bucket. Harden's got 8 here in the quarter.
Yeah, I love watching Harden be aggressive inside. One of the most efficient scorers in our game.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City.
Yeah, it looked like they tried to shoot their way out of the slump, and that didn't work. They got to go back and regroup.
Well, no matter how hard it's been, you want to stay positive, stay focused, and maybe a couple shots will get you right back in it.
And a new group in here for the Thunder. Markieff Morris is checked in for Adams. Patterson comes in for Nerlens Noel. Burton's checked in for Terrence Ferguson. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Russell Westbrook. The Rockets also changing it up. Gerald Green, he's checked in for Gordon. Shumpert comes in for James Harden. And it's Austin Rivers in for Paul. Now, here is George. He's got 11. And they pick up 2. George has got 13 points.
Well, if they're going to win this game, he's going to require just a little bit of help. Many of the shots he's taking are finding the hoop.
Shumpert finds Green. Rivers scanning the floor. Down low. Back to Fareed, and good that time. He's got 6.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Pass to Patterson. Knocks it loose. Out of bounds. Houston takes possession. And the Thunder making a switch here. Grant's checked in. And a switch here also for Houston. Clint Capella, he's checked in for Fareed. And it's Houston's ball. They're on a 19-6 run. Rivers with it. 7 points in the game. They get it again. And the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
Well, on the defensive end, this is a joke. The lack of awareness is exactly why this team is so far behind.
And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Rockets lead by 14. 2K Sports, back in a moment here in Oklahoma City. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
And he's always been the favorite to bag this honor. These kind of feeds are his bread and butter.
Doesn't happen with every point guard in the league as far as setting your teammates up. Lots more scorers now, but right there creating the scoring opportunity for his teammate.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. Patrick Patterson is out there with Grant. Then there's Dennis Schroeder. Then there's Markieff Morris. And it's Westbrook in at the 2 spot. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. Now here's Patterson. Just 5 to shoot. And Capella sends it back. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Capella. George is checked in for Patrick Patterson. And a change for the Rockets. Harden's checked in. Clock is at 3. And it's George missing.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And Harden gets it to go in on the assist by Rivers. Rivers has got his 4th assist in this one. And so Westbrook will bring it up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. 17-point game. Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
But he's just fearless and unafraid to go up into the traffic of the defense. Westbrook takes it right to the bucket and a well-deserved trip to the line.
Terrence Ferguson's checked in for Dennis Schroeder.
What's up?
Now here's Harden. And Tucker has it in the corner. Houston moving it around. Ferguson kicks to Grant. Pass to Westbrook. Clock at 6. The 8-footer. And he can't bank that one in. Rockets leading by 14. About a minute and a half through the fourth quarter now. Stolen by Grant. Here's Ferguson. Knocked away. Outside Westbrook. Misses the 3.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Green kicks to Harden. And Tucker has it in the corner. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. And the Rockets lead by 17.
Yeah, that's 2 straight 3-pointers they've allowed.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. Adams, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. Gordon's checked in for Houston. Ferguson, the pass to Grant. Ferguson kicks to Grant. Passes it to Westbrook. And there's a whistle. That's going to go on James Harden. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Stolen by Harden.
The instincts on defense on full display there. It was a gamble for sure, but it paid off big time in the form of a steal.
George against Gordon. And George kicks to Grant. Outside Westbrook. And again, no good by Oklahoma City.
And his touch has just been a little bit absent this quarter, and he's missing a ton of shots.
Rivers against Westbrook. Poked away. 5 to shoot. And the Rockets getting another bucket right there. And so here is Oklahoma City trailing by 19. He kicks to Adams. Back to Westbrook. And that's going to be a travel.
Yeah, that's just not a good pass. I don't know what he's thinking there. A poor decision.
And the Rockets making a change here. Hall's checked in. Rockets leading by 19. Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. Paul George with the steal. Here's Ferguson, guarded by Harden. Ferguson, the pass to Westbrook. Second chance shot, and Capella sends it back. Houston's gone outside a lot tonight. 17 times, in fact. 7 of 17. Here's Paul. Some solid defense from Grant.
And they still need to step up just a little bit. They have the lead, but he needs to find himself out there.
Westbrook, no good.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's going to buy himself a ticket to the bench. If he keeps shooting it like that, he has been putrid here this quarter.
Paul looking over the floor to the inside, and the dunk by Capella.
Chris Paul at his best right there on that kind of play. A legendary distributor who spots the open man.
And that Unleash Chaos replay presented by Under Armour. Cover Havoc, giving us a chance to relive that exciting play. Now, here's Westbrook. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. Shot clock at 6. The 17-footer. George, no good.
And he completely threw the timing off on that jumper. That is how you D up.
Playing with tremendous aggressiveness without fouling. That's an excellent job.
And with their hot shooting here in the second half, their field goal percentage over 50% now for the game.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City.
And the 6'11" Clint Capella, just a phenomenal athlete. The mobility at that center spot is something really so crucial in today's game, where every team is looking to expose big men on the perimeter.
Chance now to recognize our Jordan player of the game, Clint Capella.
And the D tried to get physical with him down low tonight, and it really backfired. Instead, he's just tore them up. He was aggressive, inviting the contact, and really just taking it straight to him.
Teams need contributions from everybody to win on the road, not just the stars. And he's done more than his share tonight. An outstanding performance. And Capella grew up in Switzerland playing soccer, a striker. Part of why he's so quick on his feet.
I mean, reminiscent of another soccer-playing center in Rockets history, the great Hall of Famer Hakeem Olajuwon. Capella, you know, he's a long way from that, but anchoring a 60-win team at age 23, that's one heck of a start. No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Free throw good, James Harden. Both shots good from the stripe. Well, there's a lot of talk, too, Brent, about the age requirement for entering the draft, and Commissioner Silver has said it's a clear change that's probably on the way. What do you think the league should do?
Can you and I talk about a guy that you know quite well, who in 1995 came out as the
17-year-old, I know
in
it.
the NBA draft? Kevin Garnett came into the league and handled himself extremely well. Now, for every one of those stories, we know there were other ones where guys did not make much of their NBA careers.
But then here comes the G League.
The G League, to me, is the huge key.
That's the equalizer.
A lot of these guys have a ripcord now for some of those things that transpired over the course of the last 30 years, where they can have a softer landing point to continue to develop, to continue to mature, and have an opportunity to make something of their NBA career.
Excellent explanation. Gordon finds Harden. 1:49 left in the fourth quarter. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and two shots coming up. And he makes the first. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. The league and Players Union, Brent, both have expressed supporting guys who express their views and social concerns. You like that?
I think it's amazing the way the league has backed some of the avenues with which players have used their voices.
Embraced.
Well, extending well beyond just saying things, Kevin, because we know actions speak louder than words, and there are so many guys around our league that do important philanthropic work, but the fact that the league supports all of those things, the fact that you see Adam Silver show up at some of these events, or that there's press releases from the league office about some of the things guys are doing. There's amazing cohesion when it comes to the league and its players, because they understand that everything that they're doing has such a significant impact in the communities in which they live in and around the game with which we all love.
Well said. And that one's good, George.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for the Rockets.
This was a very efficient offense tonight.
And they found a way to get their shots to go down. A little luck didn't hurt. A lot of their 50-50 shots fell their way.
And so when you look at the season record, this one will tally up win number 43 on the year. And guys, one of the steady and outstanding players putting in another impressive performance, it was a big-time outing for Clint Capella.
You can set a tone with defense, and that's exactly what he did with how he protected the rim.
Here's Westbrook. Adams dishes to Westbrook. Grant surveying the D. So we see Houston taking the W here. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they did tonight.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you very much with Kenneth Faried. What was the key tonight?
Just keep attacking, keep playing stronger. You know, my teammates believe in me. Just re-lock in and get focused and play my game.
Great team win tonight, Kenneth. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Brent Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan, along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. We'll see you later.